Welcome back and thank you for staying with the broadcast. The viral sensation Charles, a bus driver by day and Lothario by night, has been heard on a voice recording played throughout St. Lucia. By now, the name Charles has become synonymous with extramarital affairs. The infamous offender sits down for a scorcher in the upcoming episode of The Hot Seat with Tresha Lionel.
I'm not the first, I'm not the last. I get it so it's normal.
The story of Charles has tantalized the public and has raised an interesting question. Can St. Lucian men be in a monogamous relationship? We posed the question to you, the public, and this is what you had to say.
I don't think St. Lucian men too may can be faithful. The reason why, they can have somebody in house, they can get married, but they also look at somebody outside. That's my comment.
Every man can be faithful. Man chooses not to be.
Especially when they get older. But when they're young, they're always cheating.
Yeah, this is G Money speaking for all the black men out there. Me personally, I cannot have one woman. You know what I'm saying? I like my women like my sneakers. I need a fresh pair every week. I can't speak for nobody else. I'm sorry. But, guys is going to be guys, you know what I'm saying? Married guys, single guys, it's going to be the same guys, you know what I'm saying? We always going to be men.
Yes, some men do being faithful because my husband is faithful to me and I know that. So we can't judge everybody on the same level, right?
Do you think men in St. Lucia can be faithful, or men in general?
Of course, that easy.
Why? Why do you think so?
It's all in the mind. It's just a mindset, really. Those with weak minds, I guess, they cheat. We have to be strong-minded, basically. That's my thoughts. Hello.
Independent Senator Adrian Auger has called for more urgent action on climate change as he reflected on the devastation brought to bear on the Bahamas by Hurricane Dorian. Jacques Wooding tells us more.
On the Thursday sitting of Senate, Senator Adrian Auger expressed sympathy to the people of the Bahamas in the wake of the devastation of Hurricane Dorian. Auger says incidents like these underscore the need for urgent action on the issue of climate change. He stated, quote, "This unprecedented loss of life strikes us all at our Caribbeanness, and for the most part it's unimaginable how so many people could literally be swept off the earth." End quote.
It reminds us, Madam President, that climate change is a planetary issue, not something to be decided arbitrarily, but a planetary issue which affects the continuation of humankind on the surface of the earth. And I cannot understand why we are still talking about restricting global warming to no less than 1.5 or no less than 2 instead of moving expeditiously to a zero increment in global temperature so that we can start to redress the serious environmental considerations which are causing literally countries, especially in the northern and southern hemispheres, to be melting away into the sea, to be ceasing to be.
Auger says in the case of small island developing states, we have instances where natural disasters can depopulate entire islands in a matter of hours, making the crisis at hand more evident. He says he is pleased thus far with the work of the United Nations on the issue of climate change.
And I'm so pleased to see that the United Nations is now convening a conference and using those terms, climate change conference dealing with the environmental crisis, which is global warming. It's mind-boggling that despite the many years of science in support of these conclusions of the impact of human activity on civilization, that we continue to cast doubt on whether or not climate change is in fact happening or not.
The evidence of climate change is now inevitably with us, says Auger, and we must act with diligence with perhaps zero tolerance towards continued contributing activities to the issue. For Hot 7 News, I am Jacques Wooding.
The Sir Arthur Lewis Community College has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the University of the Virgin Islands. The partnership intends to offer expertise, resources and support to help enhance and transform the quality of the SALCC programs, offering annual student scholarships and assisting in the professional development of teachers. Chairman of the SALCC Board of Governors, John Calix, said the signing was very opportune for both institutions.
The Sir Arthur Lewis Community College and the University of the Virgin Islands signed a Memorandum of Understanding on Wednesday, September 18, 2019. The signing ceremony was held at the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College Conference Room. The signing of this MOU reflects the two institutions' commitments to academic excellence, broadening the scope of education for their students and professional development for their faculty. To achieve shared objectives, both institutions have agreed to chart a new course of cooperation for development and to remain relevant to stakeholders. Chairman of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College Board of Directors, John Callis, was present and spoke on behalf of the board.
The UVI is an HBCU, which is basically a historically black college and university. These are historically strong universities with concern for the identity of the students and a tradition that ensures that success is part of a race that has largely been challenged. The university's strong academic standing has earned it consistent accreditation from the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. This imbues confidence in the qualifications that our graduates will be afforded. As chairman of the Board of Governors of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, I'm therefore confident that this relationship will redound to the benefit of all involved. UVI can be assured of quality graduates from this institution earning degrees in multiple disciplines that can only help grow our economy and our society.
Calix says it is a pleasure to receive news of the various MOU agreements that the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College is currently engaged in.
It's always a pleasure when I am informed by the Vice Principal that we have another MOU to sign. It means that there is going to be another institution for which we are going to be collaborating with. And in many cases, the collaboration is different. So we do welcome this signing ceremony today with the University of the Virgin Islands. This Memorandum of Understanding that the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College is entering into with the University of the Virgin Islands seems to be very opportune. And from your remarks, Dr. Davis, it seems to provide us with many opportunities and a range of experiences for our staff and our students. I was very intrigued by one of UVI's goals, and I quote, to produce graduates who are academically excellent, globally sensitive, entrepreneurially focused, emotionally and spiritually balanced, and committed to serving the world. This expression exposes much of what we here at Sir Arthur Lewis Community College are working towards for our students.
The MOU seeks to coordinate mutually beneficial efforts in the pursuit of common aims. The Sir Arthur Lewis Community College and the University of the Virgin Islands will continue dialogue on strengthening this collaboration. For Hot 7 News, I am Jacques Wooding.
The Electoral Department encourages all citizens to exercise their rights to vote. It is recommended that persons ensure that they are registered with the department in time for general elections. However, this is often a long, tedious process for many persons. With the quantity of persons being served, long lines are often deterring of persons. The Electoral Office in Castries wishes to highlight its latest initiative to ease the process of voting registration. Patrons can now access all requirements to acquire or adjust documentation without entering the office itself. Assistant Chief Elections Officer Olympia Lionel shows just how this was accomplished.
What we are doing here is for persons coming to get service at the Electoral Department, we have just tried our best to reach out to them, information at your fingertip. What we have here is a mesh on our door, so you don't have to come inside to get the requirements. All the requirements are right out there. You can stand right out there to see what you need for your change of address, what you need for change of name, what you need for you to replace your ID card. So you don't have to open the door. You can just stand right out there and to get the information.
Lionel says the department hopes that it makes processes more efficient for persons. No longer will one be required to wait to simply find out the requirements for the various processes. The information is now at the disposal of the public at all times. Stay with us, there's more to come after this break.